The science that I work with is similar to what NASA uses to tell you what's on Mars without ever sending a sample back. Their acronym is XRD technology, which is kind of a radionics principle of scalar testing. So behind you, what we have done is we use this as our place for research, our own place so we can compare what other people are doing globally or in the state. They're growing something, we want to grow it, and then we can energetically test and know what the viability of the food is. The state has tons of natural minerals and nutrients to work with. We're trying to grow food and give it a name so that we can identify it and label it to where if it has a signature on it, you can assure that it's grown minerally, has energy in it to support your kids and yourself. I want to make sure that we set more people in place to do what needs to be done to carry this on, to grow with minerals and not just NPK nitrogen fertilizer from the chemical industry. Right here, there's a 4-foot swath from here to the chickens, 70 feet long. July 4th, we put 30 gallons of crude oil on this whole thing, all videoed. So what we're going to demonstrate here is how we can use crude oil in its raw form as an incredible nutrient to grow crops in, as it is formed from organic material. We'll just remediate this after we get this black gold Texas tea out of here on the ground. We'll remediate this with some bacteria, certain nutrients that'll break down the paraffin, which is suppressing the oxygen and water penetration through this. So we'll treat this after we get it all saturated with our bacteria, Nature's Bio. We've done an awful lot of oil remediations, and this is where we're going to put in a demonstration of how and why crude oil has a better value than burning it in the energy to grow vegetables. Going ahead and tilling in the oil in with the Nature's Bio, get it homogeneously blended, and we'll go ahead and seed it. And we treat it with our bacteria and the stuff that I do, environmental cleanups to just growing, getting the right balance of nutrients and biology in the soil. So in doing that, we treated this. And 8 days after we treated it, we planted it. We are now planting the seeds through here in the oil garden. 8 days after that, we had the first little pictures were some of the little corn popping up through the ground. So it's about 9 to 10 weeks, and this is what it looks like. Wow. Now this isn't look at it and it's toxic like all the other farm land that we're pulling food off with high aflatoxin levels. There's absolutely no aflatoxins in this. And the energy level as a calibration of trying to understand, like a truck has horsepower and you hear that word. We need to function as humans in the 400 to 600 range of a vibrational energy field. This food that you have to eat to be able to maintain that needs to be at a higher order to be able to maintain that level. This is running anywhere from 480 to 530 just on the cycle of digestion of the carbon from that crude oil. You know where it comes from? Jurassic vegetation, like coal and all the other things. It's more organic than any fertilizer that most people ever use, because what's happening is they're taking the chemicals and they extract out high volumes and saturate. Anything in excess is a toxin. We know that the transformation is going to take place. Whoa. Yeah, that's 9 weeks from when you saw that when the crude oil was applied, not when it was planted. So in doing it, what we're trying to also demonstrate is this facade of having this scary thing about oil spills and all the contamination. They will show somebody holding a little duck, greasy duck, and trying to wash it off with Dawn soap. Okay, I understand that, but it's a short cycle. We're looking at the long term, and with crude oil dropping in price, and we're going to get away from that and use more free energy and things. What are we going to do with coal and oil?
what we should be doing with it. It's more valuable to use that energy instead of burning it up in the atmosphere to grow and restore our agriculture and the food that we need to eat, because it's the same food that was growing when dinosaurs walked around. And it all sounds kind of, mystical, but at the same time, it's all factual. They live and were created with vegetation that was totally saturated with all kinds of minerals, biology, chemistry, physics, quantum energy fields. And this is just chia seeds. So that's the kind of background of what we're trying to, educate, inoculate, and transform of what we want to do with food.
Farming the land, healing the spirit, and healing the heart. Desert Forge.